The real issues are that we are increasingly living in an oligarchic society where a handful of billionaires who are incredibly greedy, these are not nice guys, want it all.
So now Bernie Sanders might have a trillionaire to worry about on top of that. Tesla could give Elon Musk the chance to become the world's first trillionaire. Shareholders are currently meeting to vote on Musk's new pay package. It could be worth nearly $1 trillion in stock over the next 10 years. So just to try to put in perspective just how much money a trillion is, if one of these blocks represents $1 billion, you need 1,000 of these billion-dollar blocks to hit $1 trillion. It's about this many. It's a lot of billions of dollars. If you spent $40 every second of every day, it would take 289 days to spend $1 billion. And if you did the same thing with $1 trillion, it would take you 792.5 years to go broke. The other option would just be to give the entire population of the United States $3,000 at a go. Our panel is back. Scott Jennings, I'm going to put this one to you because Donald Trump has run his campaign as an economic populist, and he has won over a lot of working class voters. And they have not in the past begrudged him his own wealth. They have seen him as someone they could aspire to become. But at what point is this too much, right?
I disagree, and I think often when we discuss populism in politics, we ascribe a level of resentment to America's working class. It doesn't exist. They believe in the American dream. They believe in working and working hard and getting ahead. And they believe that people who create companies and create value and create jobs for people, that's what we do in America. Elon Musk came to America. He created this company. It creates lots of jobs. It's innovative. I mean, he's one of the most important people on planet Earth. And so if he can have that kind of success and it lifts up people along the way, the people who work for Tesla, the people who buy their products, this is a good thing. This is the American dream. We shouldn't begrudge someone for having success in America.
There's two things about this. First of all, it's obscene, and the split screen of people not getting SNAP benefits and Elon Musk getting $1 trillion is not a great one. The second thing I'll say is that this is actually structured. They're not just handing him $1 trillion. They're actually trying to give him an incentive to work harder. And so he might not ever get $1 trillion, we should be clear, but the very idea that you need to incentivize Musk with $1 trillion to focus on his companies and not be distracted by other things is, I think, also just in terms of the way our economy works, deeply problematic. Either he's invested in the companies that he's doing or he's not. Why does he need $1 trillion dangled in front of him in order to do that? He's already got more money than anyone could do with. And by the way, if you want me to focus on this panel, 100,000 will do it. I'm just saying.
Really quick, who gets to decide, Lulu, at what point you don't get paid anymore? I mean, these are private individuals creating private companies that create incredible wealth for the people who invest in them.
He controls a lot of the board.
And I'm
saying is that it looks a little bit like self-dealing. There are people in the Tesla universe who are invested in the company who think that this is a bad idea.
Alex.
You say there's no resentment among working class Americans, but you did just see Mamdani win over 50% of the vote in New York with a message about some of this wealth inequality. Yeah. And you also have seen Bernie Sanders, his class-focused wing of the party, do decently well in 2020. But I'm just saying, there is a resentment level at the, in parts of the party and parts of the country about the level of wealth. And you have seen Donald Trump, despite talking about all the elites, he's been hanging out with a lot of AI CEOs the first 9 months and a lot less working class people.
Just to debate your point, if you look at the splits on Mamdani, he won people with college degrees and advanced college degrees. People with anything less than that, associates, high school, less than high school, they did not go for Mamdani. The working class did not. He has positioned himself as a hood ornament for people who didn't vote for him.
Can someone with a college degree not be working class?
The people who voted for Mamdani, and you look at the splits and the people who voted for Cuomo, the working class, they were not buying the socialism that he was
Well,
selling.
the working class, Democrats won the working class in Virginia and New Jersey. And I think that based on what costs and what's happening in the Republican Party, I wouldn't be surprised if they also win the working class next November. One thing that's interesting, that's just disgusting about all this, he makes $1 trillion, he should be taxed. I kind of agree with Ro Khanna on this. But at the same time, this is the man that cut 200,000 jobs from the federal government. He's not just some CEO. He caused great pain to federal workers. And so it's not that he is just like here making money and doing great for America. No, there are people still employed right now that can't get jobs in the DC area and across the country because of Elon Musk. He's messed up so many people's lives. And I think that is why people are so upset, because he's just not some guy that is like this potential trillionaire. There are real consequences to his decisions.
And our tech lead, while 42 million Americans are facing the risk of going hungry amid the longest government shutdown in American history because of food stamps being put on hold, Tesla shareholders just voted to give Elon Musk a potential $1 trillion pay package. That's $275 million per day over the next 10 years. How would you even spend that? This comes after Musk reportedly threatened to walk away from the company if they refused his raise. The payment will be in the form of more than 420 million shares of Tesla stock. There is a big caveat here. Tesla has to reach an $8.5 trillion market value. That's almost 5 times higher than it is today. Joining us to discuss, CNN contributor, host of the podcasts On and Pivot, the great Kara Swisher. Kara, $1 trillion. That's an obscene amount of money. Are you surprised that he asked for that much?
No, not at all. Not even slightly. I mean, let's be clear. He's not getting this money until he does a bunch of things. He's got to get the shares up to a certain amount. It's about 1.45 trillion. It's got to get above 8. He's got to sell 1 million robots. It's not just, he doesn't have to just get the stock up, because that's been easy. It's a meme stock right now, worth well more than it's worth, really. But he's got to also sell cars or subscriptions or get EBITDA up. So he's got to have actual performance linked to his efforts, as well as get the stock to a higher valuation.
So 75% of Tesla's shareholders voted in favor of this $1 trillion package. Do you think they made the right choice?
Well, they didn't have another choice, because he would have walked. There's no question. He sort of has Mark Zuckerberg envy. He wants control of this thing. He already does. I mean, the board is such a doormat. It's the most doormat board in the history of tech that I've ever seen. But he really wanted actual control. And without him there, it would be valued at what it's worth right now. And sales are declining. There's all kinds of secular issues around Tesla right now. And without him there, keeping it as a meme stock, it would have crashed to the floor. It would have been like one of his rocket launches. He just had a good one recently, but he's had a lot of rocket crashes.
Walk me into the brain of Elon Musk, who took such joy when he was as a consultant to President Trump and heading up Doge, took such joy in firing people. How does somebody like that look at the joy that he took from ruining people's livelihoods? I mean, again, trimming the size of government is one thing, but this was like, he was gleeful about firing people. That and demanding $1 trillion. Like, how does he square the circle on that?
Well, in that case, it wasn't joy, it was cruelty, with the chainsaw and everything else. And he laughed like a 12-year-old, essentially, and it didn't work, by the way. He failed in that endeavor. So he did a bad job there and probably shouldn't have been paid, and he wasn't paid. But he cost the United States government quite a lot of money. In the end, that's what we'll find out. In this case, he is the key man in this company. And again, if he wasn't there, this stock will be valued at what it's worth, but it's 300 and some times. It's a PE ratio, price earnings ratio, of 300 and some. Apple is at 30. So without that, the reason it is at that is because of Elon Musk. It's not because of sales. Sales are declining. And so without him there, this stock, the shareholders were voting in their best interest by keeping him there. If they had removed him or caused him to leave, it would crash and it would be worthless. The company would be virtually worthless.
Tesla stock, as you've noted, suffered for a while when Musk was taking this public role in the Trump administration with Doge. Do you think that is recoverable for the company? I mean, I see Teslas on the road that have a bumper sticker that says, "I bought this before Elon went crazy." I mean, literally, they're printing this. Do you think Tesla's reputation, its name, will ever be back what it was before he joined? He became so so political so publicly.
Right. You know, I have a different take on this. That definitely caused a problem with the sales of those cars. But I think he hasn't been innovative. This is someone who was innovative and created the Tesla. But their big innovation was the Cybertruck, which is possibly the worst product rollout in history. He was going to make a robo-van. He was going to do all these robots. He was going to have autonomous cars. This time he has to actually put up or shut up. You know, he's getting the money only when he actually accomplishes something. And he hasn't sold robots. He hasn't done the things he's promised to do in this company, at least. And so the question is, now he's done it before. So can he pull, as Scott Galloway said, this rabbit out of a hat here and make it happen again? And it's not just smoke and mirrors, which it is right now. That stock is a smoke and mirrors stock, but it will stay up as long as people keep believing in Elon. But they have to believe now, or else the stock declines precipitously.
All right, Kara Swisher, thanks so much. Always great to have you on.